I'm about to record my first Instagram Live with the wonderful Will Butler-Adams, who's the honorary founder of Brompton Bikes. I had the most fantastic conversation with this wise soul when I recorded my podcast for Conversations of Inspiration. So I know he's going to have some true gems for us all to listen to and take out some key lessons to help us navigate this difficult time. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the small business supporters in NatWest, in Dell, in 3 and in Royal Mail. They have all come together to help us bring SME SOS to life. They are working tirelessly behind the scenes for this community, and I just wanted to thank them so very, very much for this support. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It's fantastic to see your face. I just wanted to say I'm a little nervous, but now I'm on, thank God. But I just wanted to start. Thank you for agreeing, Will, to do this. Tell me, how are you at the moment?
Yeah, so we've had, well, it all started in mid-Jan when clearly we had some issues with the supply chain coming out of China. But of course, like the rest of the world, it was a long way away. We managed it the best we could, and we had a bit of disruption, but we sort of managed it. And then we thought life was good, and then it crept into Italy. But we assumed it would move very slowly through Europe, and somehow, because a lot of our sales are export, that as one country dealt with a problem, maybe another country would come out, and so the effect was sort of incremental. In reality, it was just gangbusters. It ripped through Europe so fast, lockdown going on all over the place, and the net result of that was that we lost 30%, maybe a bit more of our sales in a week, which we're just not ready for. And now we're producing about 2/3 of the bikes, and we have got some customers. We've got, as it happens, we've put a couple of hundred of our bikes from our bike hire fleet into the NHS, and we've got some cunning plans to try and do a bit more in that area. So we're muddling along.
And Will, just tell me, you've got, I've been to your factory, unbelievable place. I looked out over that balcony and there was just this sea of machinery and people, and it was, oh my gosh, it was the most wonderful moment, actually. I'd never seen a factory in operation like that. Tell me, what are you doing? Because every single key, you know, each station seemed to have a different person on it. What are you doing with your workers now? Because that was one huge operation. And I'm thinking, Will, if you think about the people who are listening today, it's small businesses who don't have the factory the size of you. But what have you done with your workers, and how have you managed shifts differently?
So it doesn't matter how big or small you are. You've got the biggest challenge that we face, I would suggest, is the emotional challenge. Because there's a huge amount of fear. So you have quite a tricky job in any business where you are balancing the immediate, completely unprecedented emotional challenges with trying to keep your feet on the ground and keep an eye on the future in protecting your business, in working out new ways of doing things, protecting your supply chain.
Tell me about what you think about small businesses at the moment, and just any advice or any comfort that you can give them at the moment, or any tips.
So, I mean, I can only give my pretty modest observation, but I do have a sense that there is a community feel rippling through the country, in fact, globally. And there is a sense of trying to support the smaller business, trying to support the independent, and also a sense that the less stuff between you, the consumer, and the product that you're willing to buy, the better.
What do you mean by that, less stuff?
Logistics, distribution hubs, shops, margin, you know, all the millions of little things that go on. Whereas if you're talking to somebody who makes something, they can put it in the post and you're going to get it. And there is a certain going back to basics and trusting the local, the human face, And I think for
I
all of
couldn't
us,
agree more. Yeah.
I think for all of us, there is real opportunity. I mean, whenever you look at really tough crises in business, and it doesn't matter whether we're talking about 2008 or the Great Depression or wars, there are opportunities. And for businesses that are small, nimble, and have real integrity, you are able to move and respond way quicker to the changing world. And the world is going to change. We are not going to go back to the old normal. It's going to become a new normal. And smaller businesses have the opportunity to respond to that far quicker than the larger lockdown, VC-backed, massive great beasts. So I think no matter that a lot of these businesses must be feeling a huge amount of pain, and in some regards that pain will be so much that their businesses will close. That is an absolute sad reality of the situation we are in. There is still a lot of opportunity, and if you can just hold your business in one piece while we're going through this and not throttle it so hard that it doesn't have the capability to rebound, because we've got to start thinking about where we're going to be in 3 months and 6 months rather than 3 days and a week, then I think there is some fantastic opportunity for all of us on the other side of this to get behind the positives that have come out of this pretty tragic situation.
What do you think's a new normal for Brompton Bikes?
We've talked about working from home. We've talked about having this don't have to turn up and clock in and prove that you're there sitting at your desk. And it's sort of, the technology's been there for ages, but somehow the culture of having to be at your desk and show you're there seems to have dragged on way too long. And I think hopefully, again, another positive will be that we trust each other, that naturally we're all discovering with lockdown, we're getting flipping bored. You know, we naturally are doers. We like to get stuff done. We're not going to, work from home and do no work. Of course we're going to get work done. So I think, there is going to be some change, and I think very much it should be and will be change for the good.
And you say that it's so interesting. The small business community who are listening now, it's so funny. So many people still have that 9 to 5 mentality.
When you're a small business, if you're running a business, there is no off switch. It doesn't happen. But when I go on holiday, I'm always on, but then I'm off, if you know what I mean. So, I have tons of fun with everybody. I don't feel like I'm ruining the holiday because I happen to spend an hour in the morning when everybody else is either asleep or, just chilling out, doing my emails. I like it. I like my job. I've got no issue with that. And so the whole definition of, this is work time, this is non-work time. And, all of my staff have got gadgets. And even if they're not staff ones, they'll be on, if there's something important, they'll be on piling in at 7 at night because they want to. And therefore, who cares if they're not in till 10 on one day because they've got to worry about taking the dog to the vet or whatever it happens to be. But you have to keep changing, I think, is the main message. And I think in every person, in every small business, don't think that for yourself, for your own business, don't think that the old normal is the new normal. Listen to your customers, sniff about, look at the opportunities, see how the world is changing. Classic example, okay, absolute flipping classic. We've got our bike hire scheme, okay? So we created this bike hire scheme 9 years ago, flipping difficult. It's never made a beam and it's been tough. It's been always contentious, but it's sort of very cool. Then we have these bike docks, we've got 60 of them across the country. You pick up the bike, and uniquely with our scheme, the average hire is 4 days, and then you put it back. That's unusual because most people, you take the bike for a journey. Ours is 4 days, so you can take it home, shove it in the tube, go to Paris if you like, whatever. Anyway, Bart's Hospital came to us through the MD of the bike hire business, and they wanted some bikes for their staff because the staff didn't want to jump on the tube. So we said, here we go, we've got a few extra bikes, here's 50. It went gangbusters. We've now got 200 of the bikes into the NHS, and we've got 500 people wanting bikes, and we're trying to work out how to fix that. But what's really interesting is we effectively lent them the bike for £1 for 30 days, which is what they want. Great. But then it's got us thinking, well, hold on a minute. How many customers want to go on a bike share where the previous person was on the bike like 2 days ago and put their hands all over it?
Okay.
Is anyone going to want to do that? Is bike share even going to survive after this? Because, somebody's sweaty, got on a bike, and then the next person jumps on it, and all a bit funny. So, of course, because of what we did because the NHS wanted it, we're now completely rethinking our bike hire, and we're going to offer lease bikes for a month at a time, 12 months to customers, because what they're going to want is a bike, but they don't want to give it back because it's their bike and they've cleaned it and it's got all, you know, they know it's safe. So in sort of trying to help out one thing over here, it's made us completely rethink the business. So you need to know your business, recognize how the world is changing, know that you're nimble, and don't be afraid to change some of what you're doing to adjust to the opportunities that you see.
Tell me what you think the retail world's going to look like after this.
Crumbs. A lot cheaper, that's for sure, because
do you think?
Not so much the products are not going to be cheaper, but rents are going to be cheaper. The consumer likes to go out. We're discovering that, because we're all discovering that now that we're not allowed to get out, how much we love going out. We like doing stuff. We like meeting our friends. So I don't think the idea of retail as an experiential journey is going to change. And it's definitely moved already from being where you go to buy stuff to where you go to learn about stuff, and where you go to experience it and try it and not necessarily buy it. But that's fine, because you can buy it in a different way, in many ways. But the idea of us as producers, manufacturers, offerers of something, use retail to get our message across and to entertain our potential clients and customers, I think is going to remain. But I do hope and think that the sort of large organizations that own huge amounts of real estate will realize that their margins are going to come down. Business rates, the government's already realizing it. They've been killing the high street. So I think, again, quite how it's going to go, I don't think retail is dead at all. I think it still has huge opportunity in this context of entertainment. And I hopefully think it's going to be the barriers to entry, i.e. the cost to get into decent retail will come down.
What do you think that you'll be taking out of so far this experience? I mean, bear in mind, we're X amount of weeks in now, and this could be going on for months. Tell me what you think that so far you would say is your lesson that you're going to be taking into Brompton Bikes going forward.
So for me, and it's reinforcing something that I believe in extremely strongly. You have a contract between you and your staff, and that contract is trust. And you trust them to try their bloody best for your business, and to turn up to give most of their life for your business, which is their business too. But that trust is tested when things don't go according to plan. And it's very old school, but I believe strongly that at a time like this is when you find out, you know, whether you actually stand up for what you believe in. We are trying hard and have set our ambition that we keep our team together at Brompton. There is a real risk to all of us from this coronavirus, but actually there is also a very big risk to my staff if they lose their jobs. It may not be so immediate, but the impact on their lives, their physical and mental health, because when out the back of this, jobs are not going to be easy to find. So we have been quick to lock down, to try and protect our cash. We are using furlough, but everything we are doing is to keep our team together and not to lose any of our staff, so that on the back of this, we're protecting everybody, so that we are all going to be together in 6 months, 12 months and 3 years time from today. And I think that's the real, and if I'm sure we will come through this, I'm absolutely convinced, but my God, we'll be a rock solid team when we do, because we'll be proud that we've stuck together.
How can small businesses sensitively market themselves at this time?
I mean, it slightly depends. Really tricky. I think that the world sort of needs less stuff. We've been spending far too much time buying a whole load of guff we don't really need. We need less stuff, but better quality, really lovely, gorgeous stuff that'll last and that adds value over a period of time, rather than cluttering up, landfill. And I think we need happiness. We need to bring happiness through this stuff, not stuff that we think we need, but we don't really need. So I think if you're in an industry where you're delivering any of that, I think you've got every right to be proud of what you're doing, to engage with people, to speak honestly. I think what we don't need at the moment is sort of, you know, over the top sort of, I keep saying guff, but you know, marketing-y stuff. But if you've got a product that you love, that your customer will love, and it'll make them happy, you know, we need a bit of happiness. Poor people are stuck in their houses, and you know, if they can get a little something through the post that will make them all happy and excited, good on you. You're contributing, because we need to feel good. It's pretty tough out there. It's a bit lonely. People are feeling all cramped up. The children want to be with their friends, and they've pretty much had enough of mum and dad. So, you know, I think there's nothing to be shy about.
Yeah.
And again, where I started when we were chatting, we have a crisis, but we also have a life to live for the next, hopefully, many years. So we can't just forget about that. We need to protect our futures, our welfare, rather than our immediate, just focusing on our immediate health. And I think we all have a role there. Of course, we've got to protect ourselves in the absolute current, but we've got to make sure we keep looking up and caring for the business and the longer term welfare
And the longer term.
And our customers.
I've just been summarising and your wise words, Will. So we're going to consume less. We need less stuff, but better quality. We're going to support local people, the human people. People buy from people. Smaller businesses have the opportunities, and it's the future if you can hold out. So that is the one key thing. Flexible working, we'll have to trust each other. Number one thing Will's saying is, trust people, trust your team. And the biggest lesson we're going through now is managing change and the ability to adapt. And that's lucky that this small business community are chameleons. You've got to listen to your customers. You've got to be nimble. And there is inspiration everywhere. Businesses need to evolve, and retail has the opportunity. So if you want to go out there and get a high street place, now is your time to negotiate. And we need happiness. We need things that bring happiness. People love lovely things. We don't need more landfill. Will, I can't thank you enough. I know you've got so much going on out there, but again, this small business community loves hearing your words.
Hold on. Since we're live, wait a minute. I got this damn thing out of the thing. Hold on.
Here we are.
Just to prove to you, it's not fake.
Look at this. Oh, he's going to give you the tour. Look at this, everyone.
So, you know, we are actually trying and still making one or two bikes.
This is the view, everyone, that I had when I did the podcast. It is unbelievable. Do it one more time, Will. Let's see it one more time.
Okay. Sorry,
it's unbelievable. For those of you who have not been to anything like this, look at this.
Hey!
Will, thank you so much for your time. Bless you.
Cheerio.
Good luck and stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.